Greetings everybody, Amar here, and this is the second part of the workout continued from yesterday. So what I did is I took a snipping out of from the website, and this is a good way to make sure that your information is correct. So we're just going to enter in the next drawing. So I'm just going to highlight these two cells, grab the handle, drag up. So now this is the 9th, and the drawing number was 9. Come on. 14, 27, 37, 43. Now weird, unfortunately, for some reason, my whole entire file is defaulted to cells to the date. I don't know how that happened. I'm not sure how to undo it. So here I'm just going to highlight the cells, right click, and then go to Format Cells. And there's a lag for some reason. I don't know why it's going slow. Sometimes it goes slow, sometimes it goes fast. Let's see. Right click. Alright, and then number 0 decimal places, okay. Alright, so this is my data. Now I actually just did a video and it crashed. The Excel crashed on me. I lost the video, and like a dummy, I didn't hit Control S to save the data. So I'm going to do it again, and hopefully I'll do it better. And hopefully I'll try to keep it over at a half hour. Alright, so now we're going to go to the active dish LDs for last digits. I'm going to drag down this bar here, select the cell, right click, paste special, values, okay. Now that automatically is updated, and unfortunately I don't have the skills to automatically update the skips. So I'm just going to go here, 9, 5, 2, 14, 1. Usually I'll export the skips from Manage Gold. There are a couple of steps for that. I did write a for those steps, and I have set this where the macro is located. So let's continue. 9, 5, 2, 14, 1. And now we'll go to the dish big, the big again, gray. Now here you can see the number 9 after one dormant period came in reversed at 7, and then hit a downstroke at 4, and then another downstroke would be a hot skip. So I would have played it here to repeat, and I would have played it for skip 1, 2, and 3. Maybe I did. I don't remember right now. But let's color in the streak so that I can see it a little better. So the hot streaks, I like to color in as in pink, so like hot pink. And this is an intermediate upstroke, and I color that yellow. Now, yesterday, I was considering the number 1, the first position number to repeat, and for my Fibonacci spread to here, the 23. Okay, now the Fibonacci spread, this is over here, these are my spreads. So these are the skips. These are manually entered in. They're linked to this cell here, active drawing since hit chart last digits. So that's over here. This is active. This is just the spread, subtracting the 5th number from the 4th number. And this is, again, the spread, subtracting, actually, I'm sorry, you subtract the 1st number from the 5th number. Subtracting here the 1st number from the 4th number. And so I highlight the spreads, and then I look for flag formation. So here you have a 2, 3. So I'm going to continue to look for this flag formation to continue. Here I was looking for it to continue here at 0, 5, and it did not. So I'm just going to copy this red box. Come on, right click, copy. And then I'm going to select this cell and hit Control V. I'll hit another Control V just to get a couple more red boxes. And I will be looking for this spread to continue, the Fibonacci spread. So the Fibonacci is Fibonacci number 21, or number 21. I don't know, 21 is what number in the series? I don't know from the top of my head. I'd have to count. So let's just say here that yesterday, the 2 was the first peak. I was doing the Fibonacci spread, and it's 21 plus or minus 1, so it's 20, 21, 22, and that was my original spread. I'm playing New York to try to trap a 4-number win, and it works pretty well. This game is a little different, or maybe just when I play the pattern, it goes cold, which tends to always happen, unfortunately. But here, we're going to continue looking for it. So sometimes, to make it simple for me to think, I'll just do a spread of 20. So I'll have 2, and if I'm looking for the first number to repeat, and it's a 2, I would play 2, 12, and then 22. So that's like that's very the simplistic way to look at it. Fibonacci is a little bit more because now I'm subtracting. The subtraction from 22 to 2 is easy to get 20. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Now it didn't repeat the first number, so now the first number here is the 9. But I would use the same strategy. So now the first number is the 9, and if you use the Fibonacci, let's say it goes to 29. All right. So now I would be thinking 9, 19, 29. Now you can see here that the 29 has been hot. So after one dormant period, it came in reverse. It had a symmetry 6 off the 4. Now I had a downstroke 1, symmetry 1. So this would be, so 6-1 is a downstroke, but I'd say hot skip because hot skip is 0, 1, 2, 3. It's easy for me to remember. And then I'll highlight it the pink so that way I don't overlook it. And so every time I see pink, it's like, I'm saying play it, dummy, play it, don't overlook it. So now here it's 8. So 8, there's no symmetry here to the 4, the 1, 1, 6, but there might be symmetry 8 over here. So this is a dangerous and difficult chart position here because the flag is broken down and there's no, oh actually there is symmetry here. 8 is symmetrical to the 6. So it could come back, possibly, because I'm doing symmetry, meaning plus 2. So 6, 6 is symmetrical, 6, 7 is symmetrical, and 6, 8 is symmetrical. So there is some symmetry here still. And let me move this back here. So it would be 9, 19, 29. Now the number 19 has been tricky. I have been playing it, or I was playing it. I played it actually for a hot skip off of this intermediate here. And I would have gotten some 2-number wins, but I was off. So I didn't get a hot skip. It came off a skip 4. It came out to a skip 4. And then this is pink here. So now 9 is symmetrical to the 8, right? And this was 5 dormant periods. So if you're going to look at, let's say 2, 12, 22, or 9, 19, 29, I like to cross-reference with the last digits here. So this is last digit odds even. And I look for 2 numbers coming out with the same last digit. So let me just drag this down here, get some more data. And these are a count of the max times that those occurred where you had a minimum of 2. So zeros happened 77 times, where the 4 happened 103 times. And I really should have this labeled better with the time frame, and I really should have a formula here so I could check to make sure that these numbers are correct. So I'll have to do that another time. So here, this is the even sides. Even is green and odds are orange. I'll just drag down these here to get these long skips longer. So if you look at the 2s though, okay, this is coming in reverse. 22, and this is 6. So if I put in, let me put in the 6 number. So I Control C, Control V. This would be, whoops. This would be 7 over here. Control C. That's 7. So there's actually, if you look this, wait, no, this was a long skip. This was 10. I thought that was a symmetry. This one was actually 8, 8, 10, and then you could have symmetry again. So this pattern was, this was an intermediate flag. But let me just stick with the, so this is last digit 2s. If this was coming in reverse here, 22, 6, that could possibly coincide with this reversal here. You see 12, 4, this is reverse. And then you have here 22, which is 19, 6 reverse. And this is 1 dormant period. And then the yellow would be 2 dormant periods. Now yesterday you had the 5, 5 symmetry adjacent, and that was a number that I had mentioned, and I would have put it in my wheel within the 222 spread. Now the problem is that if you're looking for the first number to repeat and your spread is from 2 to 22 and you play a multi-draw, right, the 9 is now the first number and you wouldn't have many numbers past 22. And here 40 to 43 has been hot. So it's getting tricky. Well, it's always tricky. It's never not tricky. All right, let me see. What else do I want to talk about here? There's 1 dormant period. I did mention 14 in the last video before it crashed on me. And the reason is because this is 5 dormant periods, and this is 6 dormant periods. Now, I was playing this number, 14, as a power number in my wheel a little while back. Now, you can see it came in 6 dormant periods. It had a hot skip, and then it had another hot skip, and then it had a skip of 8. So most people would have been looking for this as a flag formation, 1-5 power number. Now I might have played it 1-5, I might have played it 1-6, but I try to drop it after 1-6. And then after, what I look for is that if it stays within the streak, right, meaning intermediate skip, 7, 8, or 9, then I'll look for a hot skip. So here it was 8-1, you got a hot skip. And then you had another intermediate. So this 8 was symmetrical to here. So this is the reason why, in my opinion, the lottery is so hard to predict. Is because in the book she says go for the 1-5 flag formation as your power number, but she doesn't mention what you should do if that fails, right? So if it fails, what I do is I drop it, look for 7, 8, or 9, and then I play the hot skip off of the 7, 8, or 9 as the power number. So here you got the hot skip off the intermediate, and then it happened again. You had the intermediate, and then you got the hot skip. Now here you got another intermediate. Now at this point, this is where I powered up on the number using my own hot skip rule. But unfortunately, the number did not have the hot skip, and it just went to another dormant period. So now you have 1 dormant period here. And I'll Control V here to get a blue guy over here. So that's 1 dormant period. Now you had reverse, and then you had the symmetry. So now you have the 5-5 bottom. So technically, I would look for a hot skip here. I would consider a hot skip off of this skip 5. And I would actually go back to my lines that I had played previously over here, looking for the hot skip on this particular area. Now, I don't remember what those lines were off the top of my head. I'll have to check my wheel, and I'll have to look at my tickets to see what exactly I played, but I do not remember what they were. Now, I did get a 3-number win recently, and I don't remember what the winning numbers were. It was like 5, 30, 31. I was looking for, what was I looking for? I don't even remember. I was doing a symmetrical line. It was a symmetrical line on the spread. That's what I was doing. And I was looking, and I was using the hottest number in the game, which was the 5 currently. So where was it? It was somewhere. I'll have to do another video showing that ticket because that line, I've gone back to it trying to see if the well still gives water. So I've gone back to that. But right now, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I might look for a hot skip off of the 9, the first number to repeat, will play the second number to repeat, which is the 14. Considering that the 14 had 6 dormant periods, it might still have some catching up to do after this one dormant period. But I'm not sure. And I'm not sure because the problem is that the first number to repeat here, which was the 2, and the first number to repeat here, which is the 9, those positions have gone cold to repeat. And I can verify that by looking at the positional repeater chart, which is over here, which is the PRC. Now, if I go to the PRC is a simple logic formula chart. So if I click on this cell that is green, I missed it, green over here, it's a simple logic test. If C1794 is equal to C1795, then be 0. If not, then 1. So all the zeros here I've formatted it with this green, and then here, let me hit the X to make sure I don't mess that up. Here, I counted the zeros in this range. So if we look, and then I get the 1, and then I can draw in the drawing since hit charts. Let me exit. And so again, so here, just to look at the logic, if this cell is equal to this cell, and then I mark it. And that's how I make my positional repeater chart. Now I used to use the positional repeater chart that was not automated. I just had to like do it on paper in a logic kind of fashion, and it worked. But now it's automated. So I want to automate it for all games like Virginia and Florida, Mega Millions, and whatever, because when the position is in a flag formation repeating, you want to play it. Now it can't go cold like here. This is the third position to repeat. Let me X this out so I don't mess up my formula. The third position to repeat here has 6 dormant periods. The first position to repeat had 2 dormant periods before it had a flag formation, and here it was 3 dormant periods. So here's 1 dormant period, and here's 2, 3. So you can see here that the fourth position is in a flag formation, and it's a classic flag. It's not an intermediate flag. These yellow things in it make intermediates, and you could do even more, like count how many intermediates within a flag. It can get pretty crazy, but I want to try to keep it simple. Now this you could just do on regular paper. Now this I have transferred over to a regular graph paper because I can't keep track of all these patterns in my mind. The memory for it is very hard, so I have this on paper, and I would suggest that you do this on paper as well. Now the ice pyramids give you a longer time frame of what happens regarding positions, but every year the first position number and the second position number will repeat a certain amount of times. I don't know how many times in this game, but I think for New York it was maybe like 50 times. So I don't know percentage that is per year, but that's why if I look for a repeater and I'm using the same spread, then I have a standard to use regarding time and regarding space. So that's why the strategy works well, and that's why I use it. But these charts are extra in there. But anyway, I'm digressing. So I'm going to try to do that for more charts and explain it. And then if you do this on graph paper, once you have it on graph paper, you can just keep on updating it at your own leisure, and you just look for the flag formation. So this would be, I would call this a second order flag formation, because in the book, Gale only mentions first order flag formation. So first order flag formation would be on the drawing since hit chart here, right? So here, 2, 5. So this is what, the 23. So the 23 is actually hot here. So that's actually kind of good. So I'm not sure, but I'm going to probably play the 9 and 14 looking for a hot skip when I go out tomorrow. But I have to look back and see what lines I played, because I don't want to change the line. I want to try to be consistent with your lines over time, right? If you're playing the 9 as a repeat number in your wheel, you want to continue with that spread, your strategy. But if the 9 goes cold, which it can go cold, you could, let's say, go missing for 50 games, you don't want to be playing those combinations because the 9 is likely not to come out. So it's a timing, and that takes practice, and it's very difficult. It's very hard for me even, especially like I was mentioning when I played the power number 14 here for a hot skip off of this 8. So the pattern failed, and I don't even remember what the lines are, but I have other lines that I've been playing with the 9, and with the 9, it's been the 7, 9. So I've been playing, let's say from here, from 7. So if you go 7 to 27 using the spread, you can see here that the 27 is hot. So I might play something like 7, 9, 27, 29. So now I'm covering two 20 spreads within the same combination. I'm covering 7, 9, 27, and I'm covering 9, 27, 29, if that makes any sense. So that's the strategy that I'm using. Now, I've been using the 5 because the 5 has been one of the hottest numbers in the game. The 5 has been hot. So the combination that I won, the 5 has been the hottest and the 30 has been the hottest. But the 30, you can see it's gone a little cold here. So he had a streak here, and I did make a hit chart for different time periods for let me color this in blue, 1 dormant period. So it's about to go into 2 dormant periods. So the combination was, the numbers that hit were 5, 30, and 31. So that one was pretty good. And I want to do a separate video showing the strategy that I used with that ticket, and I'll show the wheel that I made, and I'll show the drawing sense hit chart at that time that made me think of that. So the 5, 7, 9, I might play those 3 numbers in the hopes of getting 2 numbers correct, and then I would do the spread. So if I do, so now I'm layering another strategy on that, right? Okay, so I'm layering a repeat strategy with the spread, all right, with another repeat strategy. Well, that's not with another spread with a gap, right? Because 7, 9 is a good gap. That would make your 7 the first number, 27 your last number. And then the third strategy would be then, let's say if I do 5, 7, 9, looking for 2 numbers low, odd, I would look high, and then I would look even. So I might look 26, 28, right? But you don't want to throw away your other strategy of the spread. So maybe the wheel would be something like 5, 7, 9, and then you would have 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Now the reason why I'm doing consecutive there is because you know what happens when you do a wheel, you'll be 1 off, and that prevents you missing a number into the gap, right? But that's just preliminary. I'm not really sure. I have to update all of these charts. So the next video that I do, I'm going to have updated all of these charts. I'm going to have updated my paper drawing sense hit chart. I'm going to have updated the paper variables, the paper combinatoric variables, and I'm using Bristol paper because there's not enough room on graph paper. So and I can see small, so it's not a big deal. So let me just continue here. Now, one thing I wanted to mention that I'm treating this game as a 5 of 39, and that's why my first gap here is 1 through 13, and then 14 through 26 is the second gap, and the third gap is 27 to 39, and the 40 to 43 here is black because I'm treating that as a separate group. Now I'm treating that as a separate group all the way on the other side of this chart. So I'm just going to walk through here. Now this has to be all updated. So this is, again, so group G1 is 1 through 13. And this is where I'm looking for minimum 3 numbers in the first group. So here, you can see that there is a flag formation for that occurring. So here I played it. It didn't come in. You had these 2. So now you have a flag. So 5, 6, symmetry, well, symmetry 5, 4. So that could continue. And so group 1, 5, 7, 9, that would cover that particular probability of occurrence, where you have 3 numbers within that group. But But here you can see I have G1 13, G2 26, G3 39. So I'm treating this as a 1 of 39, low and high. Again, I'm treating it low 1 through 19, and you can see also low has been hot. It's in an intermediate flag. And now you have the 8-8 symmetry, you have the 8-9 symmetry, you have 5 dormant periods. So I know that this is possible because it's 5 dormant periods without me having to go up, to scroll up, to look, to see, what the hell is happening. And that's why there's power between this color convention and the algorithm that is located in the Lottery Master Guide. So that's what I'm using. I haven't really spoke about the algorithm. There's 2 ways that I've determined the algorithm, and they both go pretty well together. But I'll have to do that in a separate video, but not here. I'm going to wrap this up because the last time, oops, you know what I should do? I should save it. So let me Control S. Actually, I should have saved it over there so I could have talked about the pattern. But I'll talk about the pattern here. So this is the units. Teens, 20s, 30s, and the G1, G2, G3 are also groups, but it's for groups not scoring. So here you had 1 dormant period, 1 dormant period, 1 dormant period. Okay, all right, so let's go over to the last group. And this is 2 decades not scoring, so this is also a flag formation, and I colored in green because it's for not scoring. So I don't confuse myself. So scoring would be hot pink, and not scoring is like this green. So this is 2 decades. So that means that two decades are not going to score. So if I do 5, 7, 9, and let's say I don't play teens, I don't play 20s, and then I go back to the 30s. I go back to 30, 31. And that would actually cover the 5, 30, 31 that I had won previously. So basically, I'm going back to the well. And it's not a bad strategy to go back to the well. Some people say, oh, don't play it because it already came out. But numbers repeat. If you've been studying this long, you know that a set of 5-number jackpot winning numbers can repeat. And when I missed my jackpot, if I had played that same missed jackpot line every day for every day, just that one line for the rest of the year, I would have had like another 3, 4-number wins. But everything, went sour. But let's just look and see. Okay, so this is another drawing sense hit chart, and this is linked to the drawing sense hit chart. So equal to A183, which is all the way over here. And so here you can see that's where it's linked. So let me X that out so I don't mess up my formula. So this is the other drawing sense hit chart. And I started this because when I did the video for Brandy, North Carolina also has a 543. And I was like, well, how am I going to deal with these extra numbers without messing up all these formulas entering? Because I can't enter a cell over there back, at the beginning, because the program freezes and it'll crash. It'll just be waiting there forever. The file is too big at this point. I actually have to start trimming it down. So let me just copy these marks here. Control C. Oh shit! What happened? Get out of here, Cortana. What happened? I pressed Alt C. I pressed Windows C instead of Control C. So Control C, and then here Control. Oh fuck! What's going on here? Control V. Man. Control V. Control V. I'm trying not to go too far over 30 minutes because I have to trim the file, and I can't trim it on the computer because I get a shell host error. I can trim it, but then I can't delete the bigger file, and then it just eats up my memory. Okay, so you can see here the 40 is hot as a flag, and this is, I made a mistake here. This is minimum 1. So every time there's a 1 here, this should have a mark, so I have to fix this. But this is minimum 2. So this is a hot and hitting streak, because you see after this exhaustion of 45, your skips are 0, 3, 2, 1. So these are all hot skips. So that's why they're hot and hitting. Now, if I go back here, this is 16 dormant periods. See, I recycle the dormant periods, right? The blue, yellow, green, gray, but at some point I can't combine the colors anymore. So it's just black, and I have to put the number. So this is black, 16. So this would be black, and this would be 17. So that would be then 3, 2, 1, and then so it's tricky because now the numbers are hot coming out in this area. So right? So, and this is minimum 0. So this means no numbers coming in from 40 to 43 because I'm trying to exclude those numbers. I'm trying to simplify from 5 to 39 and try to hit a jackpot just with those numbers and not play those numbers. Because what will happen a lot of times is I'll play them and then they won't come out, and then I'll feel, you know, you were stupid. You should have just played from 5 to 39. So I had to make this here so that I knew, is these numbers coming out more than they usually do? And yes, they are here, but it was 17 dormant periods, and now it's hot and hitting. So now it's a little tricky. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because if I like the 7 and the 9, it messes up my spread strategy if I'm going to start playing the 40 and 43 just because they're hot. And usually what will happen is I'll say, oh, okay, they're hot, and I'll start playing them, and it'll just go cold. So not only did I switch the strategy that I was using, now I'm losing again, and now you got to go back. So it becomes a real pain in the ass. And this is here, and this pattern, this was over here. This is 5 numbers from 1 to 39. So every time 5 numbers come out from 1 to 39, I have a green. Shit. This actually, what does that mean? All right. Control C. Okay. So basically, you can see here that it's been, what is this, 5 drawings since you had no numbers come out from 40 to 43, which is the exact same here. This is the same thing. It's been 5 drawings since you've had all 5 numbers from 1 to 39. So this is like the same thing, just looked at in 2 different ways. And I guess that's about it. I'm going to wrap up this video. The Samsung silver flash drive is a great flash drive. This video is going to be about 4 to 5 gigs, and that's the only flash drive that it can accept the transfer over. And once I transfer it, then I trim it with photos, which is weird because why would you use photos to trim a video? But that's what I do. And then when you trim it, I can't delete it because it's a Microsoft Shell host program. But if I trim it on the flash drive, I just eject the flash drive, and then when I plug it in, I can delete it. But so it's only $10.99 on Amazon. So anyway, if you know any good, any techie people in your family, I would suggest it is a pretty good gift. I was gonna buy another one, but I have a whole ton of flash drives. But this is my go-to flash drive now, and I'll probably buy another one, but a different color if they have a different color. But anyway, it's a whole different topic. So the next video that I do, this is all gonna be colored in, the papers and everything. And I'll probably just look at the wheel and the winning number that I had made, winning combination. So that's about it. I don't want it to crash on me again to lose the video. So good luck, happy number hunting, and we'll see you soon. We're going live for Friday. Peace.